this off as clean as we can. Next one's inside for Pillar, and now it's a 3-1 count for the Rush City pitcher, Kendall Pillar. Of course, the pitcher today, Brooklyn Patterson for Proctor. Patterson readies. Here's the 3-1 delivery. That one's inside for ball 4. And Pillar will make her way to first. Now runners on first and second for the Tigers, and 1 down. Coming to the plate, number 23, Lola Mold. Laying out in right. So getting a courtesy runner here at second for Summer Nelson. And that courtesy runner will be number 5, Ashlyn Simmons. Runners at first and second now, 1 down for Lola Mold. As I continue to get the lineup here for Proctor. At the pitcher spot, it's Brooklyn Patterson. At the catcher spot, it will be Annika Burke. Sam Shelton at first. At second, it'll be Sydney Adamski. Here's the pitch to Lola Mold. Swing and a miss on that one inside for strike 1. Then at third will be Grace Abbott. And at short, it will be Reagan Rodberg. Swing and a miss by Mold. 0-2 now for Lola Mold. Runners on first and second, 1 down. Over and left for them, for the Rails, will be Emma Shelton. And here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss for Mold. Strikeout for out number 2. So 2 down now for Kaylin Glenna at the plate. Runners on first and second. Out in center for Proctor is Caitlin Hemming, or otherwise known as KK Hemming. And in right, it is Lillian Hart. This one softly hit down the first baseline. First baseman can't find it, but it's called foul. So 2 down. Oh, 1 count for Kaylin Glenna. Runners on first and second. Oh, 1 on the way from Patterson. It's in there for strike 2. Glenna now with an 0-2 count. And here's the pitch from Patterson. And half check swing there. Will foul it down the first base line. So for those of you trying to catch this game on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, apologize, might be getting some spotty service here, so we'll try a few different ways to get some internet. But here's the 0-2 for Glenna. That's high. It gets by the catcher, and runners will advance to second and third because of it. So now a 1-2 count for Glenna. Runners at second and third. Runners at second and third, 2 down. Patterson, the pitcher for Proctor. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, popped right to the pitcher. She grabs it for out number 3. So we'll pop out here to the pitcher for out number 3. But 1 hit, no runs for the Tigers. No errors by the Rails, and We'll move down to the bottom of inning number 1 with the Tigers out in the field. So bottom of the first. Tigers in the field. And looking at the Tigers in the field, of course, we mentioned Kendall Pillar in the circle pitching again today. Behind the plate catching is Annabelle Hansen. Then over at first is Summer Nelson. And at second, Adriana Schroeder. Then at third, Kaylin Glenna. And at short will be Natalie Rude. The fielding looks like this. Out in left, it will be, Maria Biermeyer once again. Then at center, it's Peyton Addix. And in right, Lola Mold. Fielding spot seems to be the way they need it at this point. So again, for those of you tuning in on 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Might be getting some bad service here, so we'll do what we can with that. As you might experience buffering, I encourage you to tune in after as well, as this game will be recorded and put back up on our YouTube after the fact too, so that way it's a better quality rather than all this buffering that you'll experience. But we'll try and bring it to you live, but if you are getting too much buffering, stay tuned after the fact. We'll have it uploaded after it has been concluded. So leading off for the Rails is Brooklyn Patterson, the pitcher. Kendall Pillar with the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. These two teams have faced off twice before, once at the end of the regular season. There's a 6-2 victory for Proctor, and then a 2-0 victory on Tuesday. That one's hit out towards right. Lola Mold on the move, and that's why you got Mold out there in right, as she catches that one on the run for out number 1. Lola Mold has made some plays here in the playoffs out in right field. Not just in the playoffs, but during the regular season, too. We've seen her make plays like that and make them look easy. That is out number 1 now to the plate. Sam Shelton for the Rails. And here's the pitch from Pillar. In there for strike 1. 0-1 count for Sam Shelton. We're here at Braun Park in Cloquet. Site for today's Section 7AA matchup. That one's going to be high for ball 1 to Sam Shelton. 1 down, nobody on. One for Shelton. Waiting the pitch call. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Just inside for ball 2. 2-1 count as Kendall Pillar facing Sam Shelton here in the second at-bat. Here's the next one on the way, and that one will be ball 3. 3-1 count for Shelton. And Pillar will ready. 3-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back into the fence. And that'll make it a 3-2 full count. Each fan base has come out in full here for this game. Sam Shelton at the plate. Full count, Pillar readies. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on and fouled back again. She'll keep herself alive with that full count. Full count once again for Sam Shelton, the number 2 batter for the Rails. Battling, and Pillar trying to grab out number 2 for the Tigers. Here's the pitch once again. That one is swung on, popped up towards the second baseman. And it's going to get down for a base hit. Natalie Rude cannot get to it in time. Both her and the second baseman were after it, but it's going to get down for a base hit. for the Rails, excuse me. And now runner on first, one down. Annika Bruce to the plate for the Rails. Runner on first, one down. Annika Bruce watches that one go by. Late swing, and Pillar beats her with that pitch to make it 0-1. 0-1 count for the Rails catcher, Annika Burke. Pillar readies. Here's the pitch. Takes something off that one, but it's in there for strike two. And Pillar heading the count now 0-2. Bottom of the first, no score. Pillar readies, and here's the pitch. That one swung on and fouled out of play. Just over the fans here in off the first baseline. So Bruce will keep herself alive. 0-2 count once again. Kendall Pillar readies, affectionately known as KP to her teammates. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be high. The ball one, and Hansen quickly up out of the stance, keeping that runner Shelton at first. 1-2 count now for Bruce. Pillar readies. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be high as well. Ball two. Counts even at 2-2 for the number 3 batter, Annika Bruce Burke. There we go. I'll figure it out. Next one is swung on, popped up towards the right center. Addix is on it, grabs it for out number 2. Peyton Addix is on it. She grabs it for out number 2. So 2 down now, runner at second for the Rails. And the Tigers trying to get out of the inning without allowing a score. KK Hemming to the plate. Here's the first pitch to Hemming. High, it gets by Hansen, and that will allow Shelton to second. So now the runner on second with 2 down. Pillar readies. And here's the 1-0 pitch. In there for strike 1. 1-1 count for Hemming. In the bottom of the first in this Section 7 AA championship game. Pillar readies. Here's the 1-1. That one's ball, and Hansen loses track of the ball for a moment, but she gathers it, and Shelton will move to third again on the pass ball, and 2 down runner on third now for Rails, and Tigers trying to get out of the inning. 2-1 count to KK Hemming. Pillar gets the pitch call. And here's the delivery. It's high for ball 3. 3-1 count to KK Hemming. Kendall Pillar wants to put one in there, but doesn't want to give Hemming a chance to get the RBI. That one is swung on, and that's going to leave the infield, and that will score the first run of the game. Yeah, it's a tough situation there for Kendall Pillar, as it will be an RBI single for Hemming. And now for the Tigers, one thing you can't do is just let this spiral. Got to understand that it's still 2 down here. Only the bottom of the first. They still got a chance for the final out of the inning. This pitch is, I think, is in there for a strike to the next batter, which would be Emma Shelton. Waiting the scoreboard, but scoreboard not lighting up, so might have been a ball, I'm not sure. This one swung on and fouled back as Hemming did advance. There we go, 0-2 now for Emma Shelton. 2 down, now runner at second for the Rails. Pillar readies, here's the pitch. That one swung on and fouled back out of play. That hits the game behind us going on. Hits the dugout back there. So we await this ball to get back in. That is going to hit the Tigers dugout as they throw it in. That one popped back right into the game field behind us once again. So twice in a row we pop it out of play. And now Pillar's going to have to wait for one of these softballs to get back into play. 2 down, runner on second for the Rails. 0-2 count for Emma Shelton. One run has scored for the Rails. Kendall Pillar and company trying to get out of inning number 1. Pillar readies, and here's the 0-2. Swung on, popped up. That should be enough to grab. And what a diving catch there by the second baseman for out number 3. And what a play there by Adriana Schroeder, making that grab for out number 3. That's one for the highlight tape for Schroeder, and that will leave one on for the Rails. So 2 hits and 1 run for the Rails. No errors by the Tigers. And now we'll move to the top of the second inning. Tigers trail 1-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, but again, only the top of the second is what we're going into, so no need to panic for the Tigers. They got plenty of game left here to try and get the 1 run back. First, we'll take a commercial break after a word from our fine sponsors back here on WCMP.
Welcome to the Summer of Saints. Not those Saints. We're talking about the St. Paul Saints. Listen every Friday morning all summer long. We're sending you and a friend to CHS Field to see the Saints, courtesy of Hinckley Firehouse. Listen to win all summer. The Summer of Saints. Throwing heat all summer long. Thanks to the Hinckley Firehouse and WCMP.
Annabelle Hansen ready to lead off the top of the second for the Rush City Tigers. These two teams, every time they've played, has been close. Even though you might say, well, it was a 6-2 victory for Proctor at the season finale. Yes, but it was close. Let me tell you what, that scoreboard will not tell the whole story. And Annabelle Hansen watches this one. She swings, fouls it down the third base line. Let me 0-1 count for her after 1 pitch. Patterson readies. And here's the 0-1. Hansen gets this one down the first base line. The first baseman grabs it. Stepped on to first for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down for Rush City as they try to get something going. And now to the plate, Adriana Schroeder, who just made that diving catch to end the inning. She's up to the plate. Here's the first pitch she sees, and she'll get a piece of it, foul it down the first base line. Now an 0-1 count for Schroeder. Patterson, a time call for a moment. And we're back to action. So 0-1 count. Patterson readies. Here's the pitch. Schroeder gets a piece of it. That's a slow roller towards the third baseman. Throw on to first. Is there. The first baseman stretching into the splits to grab it for out number 2. And now to the plate with 2 down, Addison Antonsen. Into the left-handed batter's box. Trying to get a 2-out rally going for the Tigers. Patterson readies. Here's the pitch. That one going to be low for ball 1 to Antonsen. 1-0 count. Patterson, I love to see the difference in routines for pitchers. Patterson has a little bit of a longer routine as this pitch is into Antonsen. Swing and a miss for strike 1, a 1-1 count. Patterson will get the ball back from the catcher, step out of the circle as she walks back in, sets up, takes a second, and then gets into her pitching motion. That one's low for ball 2. So it is a little bit of a longer routine, whereas some other pitchers get the ball back, set up right away, and are ready to throw. So as a batter, you got to be aware of that too, kind of what the pitcher's routine is, and in your routine at the plate, you got to be focused on how you need to approach the at-bat with the pitcher's routine, because you don't want to be sitting in the box for forever when the pitcher's got a longer routine. 3-1 count now for Addison Antonsen, trying to get a 2-0 rally going. Here's the pitch from Patterson, and that one's going to be low for ball 4, and Antonsen is on with a walk. And now to the plate, Peyton Addix. 2 down and a runner on first for Rush City. Here in the top of the second. Swing and a miss on that one, and it'll be strike 1. Rising fastball there, swung at and missed by Addix. So here's the next pitch on the way. That's inside for ball 1. 1-1 now for the center fielder. Here's the pitch from Patterson. That's high for ball 2, and Monica Burke quickly up out of her stance to try and get Antonsen to freeze, but Antonsen smart enough. She's back in plenty of time. Here's the 2-1 from Patterson. High for ball 3. Peyton Addix now with a 3-1 count, and something I think that the Tigers need to do is get Patterson to throw more. In both games they've played, they haven't really allowed her to throw that many pitches in the first few innings. Then it's late in the game when they get her to throw more. So early on to see Patterson throwing more, I think that's encouraging for the Rush City Tigers. Here's the pitch. That's in there, and that will run the count full as Addix shakes her head yes, knows. All right, I've seen it now. Now I know what to do. Full count now for Peyton Addix. Runner on first, 2 down. Patterson readies. And here's the full count pitch. Swing and a miss by Addix, and that will end the inning. So no hits and no runs for the Tigers. And we'll move to the bottom of the inning. No errors there by Proctor either. So bottom of the second inning. The Rails do lead 1-0, but Tigers force Patterson to throw a lot more than what she's used to in those innings. Patterson, especially against Rush City, hasn't thrown a bunch in the first 3-4 innings. And then the Tigers have been able to force her to throw more in the later innings. But for the Tigers, got to be happy to see her throwing more there in that second inning. Try and tire her out, get her more, her arm tired and wear her down a little bit and force her to throw more over the plate and maybe find one to get out of the infield. But both of the games between Rush City and Proctor have been defensive battles. Again, you might say 6-2, that's not really defense. Well, it was just some unfortunate errors for Rush in that first game led to those 4 runs coming in the 7th for Proctor. But other than that, man, these two defenses have gone after it. And the pitchers have been phenomenal in both games, and I expect nothing less here. This one is swung on and missed by the leadoff batter in the second, Grace Abbott. So nobody on, and the leadoff batter, Grace Abbott. Pillar readies with the 0-2 pitch, and here it comes. That one's going to slide out of her hand, and it'll be ball 1 to Grace Abbott. One, 2 count. Pillar. Ready's in. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be called strike 3. A delayed call strike 3, but it's in there for strike 3 nonetheless. And Abbott will go down looking for out number 1.
One down, Tigers. One down. Here we go.
One down here in the bottom of the second. Sydney Adamski to the plate. Here's the pitch. Just low for ball 1. 1-0 now for Adamski, and here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. 1-1 now for Adamski. Pillar readies, and here's the pitch. in there for strike 2, and Pillar finding a little bit of a rhythm now. Pillar only a sophomore, but she's been the starter pretty much all season for the Tigers, and she will be for a long time. And that one just off the plate, or for ball 2, excuse me. That'll even it up at 2 balls, 2 strikes for Adamski. Here's a pitch from Pillar. That one is swung on to the second baseman. Oh no, still throw to first. Gonna be safe at first. It's, don't want to give her an error, but I think it's more of an error than it is a base hit. So a runner at first now, 1 down for Lillian Hart for the Rails. The right fielder. Here's the pitch from Pillar. Showing bunt, she bunts it foul. Oh, 1 count for Hart. Here's the pitch from Pillar. Bunt laid down. Throw on to first. Got her. For out number 2. Adamski will advance to second, but they get the runner out at first. So 2 down, Reagan Rodberg to the plate for the Rails. Runner on second, 2 down. Tigers trying to get out of the second inning. Here's the pitch. It bounces into the glove of Hansen. Now a 1-0 count for Rodberg. And here's the pitch from Pillar. Outside. Ball 2. 2-0 for Reagan Rodberg, the shortstop for the Rails. Pillar with the pitch. Allen's in there for strike 1. Should be 2-1, I believe. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, it is. So here's the pitch from Pillar. Bunt showed. Oh, and she bunted it. Didn't realize it stayed fair. The throw on to first. In plenty of time to get her. Route number 3. No hits, no runs there for the Rails. And the Tigers get out of that inning. Kaylin Glenna makes the final 2 outs on the throws to first. That'll be it for inning number 2. So through 2 innings, only a couple of hits and 1 run is scored. The Rails lead over the Rush City Tigers 1-0 as we approach the 3rd inning. Back after word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique, specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Sean here from Burnett Dairy Cooperative. We care about your comfort and safety. Regularly checking your propane gauge is critical, and when it reaches 30%, it's time to give us a call at 715-689-1032 to request a fill. Reliable service from your local cooperative. Burnett Dairy, your trusted propane partner.
WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Top of the 3rd inning, leading off for the Tigers will be Natalie Rude, the shortstop, freshman shortstop, by the way. Here's the pitch from Patterson. It's outside for ball 1. Here the Tiger dugout getting into it, trying to support their teammate Rude. 1-0 count for the leadoff batter, Rude. And here's the pitch from Patterson. Ooh, in there for strike 1, and I think Rude and the rest of the dugout thought that might have been ball 2 at the letters, but it's strike 1 instead. 1-1 count for Rude. That one low for ball 2. For being a freshman, Rude starting and playing as well as she has. Very impressive. This is a good mix for Rush City this year of veteran players and younger players. And they're in good hands for quite a while. Softball team has, I think won 9 conference championships in a row and could see more. That one swung on, fouled back by Rude. And that will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now having a word with the pitcher, Patterson. Not sure what was said. I do not have supersonic hearing, believe it or not. Nor do I have a mic out there. Wouldn't that be interesting? Get some mic'd up players. That'd be kind of fun. So 2-2 count. Well, maybe. No, they're going to say it's 3-1. That's outside for ball 4. Well, not sure of what happened there, but it's ball 4, and Rude will walk to first. So runner on first, nobody out, and Summer Nelson to the plate. She hit a single back in the first and eventually reached third. Third and first baseman are in, expecting a bunt. And that is exactly what's going to happen, as that one laid down the third base line, but it goes foul. It went under the third baseman's glove. Unfortunately for Rush City, that went foul. If that was fair, man, that would have been a perfect bunt, but it does go foul. Runner at first, 0-1 count for Nelson. Here's the pitch from Patterson. Showing bunt again, and that one will go foul as well. Both these teams got a good mix of veteran and youth on their squads. Looking at the rosters, pretty cool to see that these two teams might be back here for years to come. A moment here in the action where we get a pause. Catcher talking with the ump, not sure what was the conversation, but swing and a miss by Summer Nelson for out 1 on strike 3. So 1 down, runner at first. And now to the plate, Kendall Pillar. She's been an exciting player to watch, whether it's pitching or running the bases. She's been so much fun to watch. A heater thrown there by Patterson is strike 1 for Pillar. Pillar versus Patterson. Brooklyn Patterson, only a sophomore as well, so these two play in the same section. This might be a battle we're watching for the next 2 years. Here's the pitch by Patterson, high for ball 1. And Natalie Rude at first. Stays at first. 1-1 count for Pillar. 1 down in the top of the third. Tigers trail 1-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Tigers need to win 2. If they win this one, we'll play a game right after this, and they would need to win that one as well to punch their ticket to the state tournament for the Rush City Tigers. 1-1 count, pitch on the way. Pillar gets a piece of it into foul territory, and it leaves the field of play. So Pillar will march back to the batter's box. It's a 1-2 count. She's got the leadoff batter, Rude, at first. 1 down, 1-2 count. Patterson with the pitch. And that one again going to leave play in foul territory. Nice catch over there by one of the fans down the right field line. Barehanded too, I might add. Didn't have a glove. 1-2 count for Kendall Pillar. She's back into the box. Patterson and walks up to her spot in the circle. And here's the pitch. That's inside. Throw down to first. Rude is back safely under the tag. And ooh, just back safely. That one is close. So Pillar, I thought that was ball. Apparently it called strike. Round number 2. Well, interesting. So that'll bring to the plate now Lola Mold. Yeah, I thought that was ball 2. No, apparently it wasn't. 0-1 now for Lola Mold. Runner at first, 2 down. Here's the pitch. That's high. And they'll throw down again to first. Rude is back safely again under the tag.
Nice dive, kid. Nice dive.
So Rude getting her workout, getting that uniform dirty. Gonna give her parents something, something to do. I'm sure they're busy enough anyways. But now they get to clean her uni. Or maybe they make her do it. I don't know. Either way, 1-1 count for Lola Mold. Here's the pitch. Mold, big swing and a miss on that one. And that's a tough one. She'll want that one back. Gonna make it a 1-2 count. 1-2 count for Mold. Runner on first, 2 down. Here's the pitch. That one's going to roll to the catcher. And now a 2-2 count for the right fielder. Patterson ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Mold swings and misses on that one for out number 3. So no hits, no runs for the Tigers. No errors there by the Rails in that inning. And we will move to the bottom of the 3rd. Tigers go back on defense. Defensively, though, again, these games, they've been close. They've been basically defensive games for both teams, and that continues here in this one. As I mentioned, Rush City will need to win 2 games. They'll have to win this game, and then they'll play another game, and they'd have to win that one to get to state. One of our local teams has already made it to state, North Branch. The North Branch Vikings softball team is headed to state. They beat Grand Rapids in that championship game in Section 7 3A 3-1. So North Branch headed to state. Bram, they played their section championship game. I was out at that one down at Northwestern University in St. Paul. Unfortunately for Bram, they fell in that one 8-4. Gave it a heck of a run, but it was a 4-run 5th for West Lutheran that did it for Bram. So Bram, a great season. They will be runners-up in Section 4 Single A. As leading off here for the Proctor Rails is the pitcher, Brooklyn Patterson. And the first pitch is low, ball 1. These two teams, similar first and second innings, except for the 1 run scored by Proctor. That's really all that separated. Otherwise, first inning, both saw 5 batters come to the plate. The next 4 innings. 2-0 count now for Patterson. Here's the pitch from Pillar, just high for ball 3. Pillar now with a 3-0 count to Brooklyn Patterson. Here's the 3-0 in there for strike 1, and 99% of the time you won't see a batter swing 3-0. Now I say that having seen the last 2 weeks, I think 4 to 5 players swing 3-0, so it is possible. That one going to be hit down the first base line, foul. And she'll run her own count full now with 3 balls and 2 strikes. For the leadoff batter, Patterson. Top 2 teams in the section going at it here for the 3rd time this season. Here's the pitch from Pillar on the full count. That one going to get by, and just by Rude. They got by the third baseman Glenna and by the shortstop Rude, and Brooklyn Patterson is on with a single leadoff base hit. Now a runner on first, and Sam Shelton to the plate.
And he's two.
Pillar with the pitch. That one's in there for strike one. A 1 count for Shelton. Pillar readies. She's ready. Doesn't even want to wait for the batter to get back in the box. That one swung on right to the third baseman. Throw on to first for one. They throw on to third, trying to get her, but Patterson stops halfway and returns to second. So a great play there by Kaylin Glenna to nab that one. Throw on to first for out number one. Then great awareness there on first by someone else and a throw it over to third, seeing Patterson heading for third, but she's going to go back to second. So one down for the Rails, and first pitch here, and Shelton is going to get to third. Rails have been aggressive on the base paths in both games they have played, and it continues here. Now, for Tigers, Patterson almost overran that as Monica Burke is at the plate. That one is popped up. That might be enough, though, to score the run. Addix is in. Throw home. Not going to be in time. And the sac fly will score a run. So sac fly RBI for Annika Bruce. And that'll make it 2-0 in favor of the Rails. 2 down. And the next one here to KK Hemming. In there for strike one. Oh, 1 count for Hemming. Pitch is high for ball one. Game behind us sounds pretty intriguing. It's a 5-4 lead for the home team over there in the second. Here's the pitch. In there for strike two. And now Pillar trying to help her team out of the inning. Gets the pitch call. And here's the 1-2. That one's swung on and hit down the third base line. It will get by the third baseman's glove and to the outfield. And a single there for KK Hemming. Runner on first, 2 down for the Rails. And now bringing to the plate Emma Shelton. Pillar with the pitch. In there for strike one. Now an 0-1 count for Emma Shelton. She flew out back in the first. That one swung on and missed for strike two. Oh, 2 count now for Emma Shelton. Kendall Pillar trying to get her team out of the third. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and she's out anyway, so it won't matter. The runner from first was trying to steal, but swing and a miss for out number 3. 1 hit, 1 run for the Rails. No errors and a runner left on for the Rails. Now we head to the top of the 4th inning on WCMP. The Tigers trail the Rails 2-0. And speaking of 2-0, that was the final in their semifinal game back in Grand Rapids earlier in the week. And Rush City had to play once again in order to get to this game. They played against Esco and beat Esco 4-1 in that contest. But Proctor and Rush City going at it for the 3rd time here this year with a chance to play a 4th time. Rush City would need to win this first game and bring it to game 2 and would have to win that one, and that is how they could get themselves to state. Proctor nearly all year been on top of the section. Rush City been right behind them all year as well. Tigers will, in my opinion, need to work that pitch count for Patterson. And we've seen And the Tigers can get some runners on base. Patterson has started to, I don't want to say fall apart, but she's definitely started to lose a little bit of the touch she has. So if Tigers can get some runners on here, start to get in Patterson's head a little bit, that would be huge. Kaylin Glenna to the plate to lead off the top of the fourth. Pitch is swung on and missed by Glenna. Good one, and just missing. Tigers have been close on many of these, but just underneath them. 0-1, that one's outside for ball one. Oh, 0-1 count for Kaylin Glenna. Or 1-1, excuse me, now. After that ball, I knew that. Patterson with the pitch. A little something off that one, and oh, Glenna can't believe it. Thought that one was off the plate. But it's 1-2 instead of 2-1. And here's the pitch. Popped up and out of play. Well, that'll leave the count at 1-2 for Kaylin Glenna. Patterson readies with the 1-2 pitch. Outside. And now we'll even the count at 2-2 now for Kaylin Glenna. Patterson with the 2-2 pitch. That one's outside, and that will run the count full. So Glenna being patient up there at the plate, running the count full, and I think that is exactly what the Tigers need to do with Patterson, is get her to throw more, get her arm a little bit more tired, and see if she won't leave a few over the middle of the plate. So Glenna waits the 3-2, gets a piece of it, fouls it off, out of play. Down the third base line. Full count again for Kaylin Glenna, the leadoff batter in the fourth. Good battle here as the leadoff spot. Now can she get on? This one will be fouled off out of play as well. So a good battle between Patterson and Kaylin Glenna. Glenna steps back into the batter's box. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Left something to be desired to Patterson, but a good battle there by Kaylin Glenna. And she reaches first. So she wins the battle there, and looks like Hannah Mechtel will be the courtesy runner at first for Glenna. So Mechtel will take over at first for Glenna. And Annabelle Hansen now to the plate. Runner on first, the leadoff batter, and her courtesy runner. Getting things situated in his sheet. So we got that courtesy runner at first. I'm just fixing things, getting it taken care of. Annabelle Hansen will be next to the plate for the Tigers. And we're ready to go. So Annabelle Hansen ready. And infield in, expecting the bunt. Here's the pitch. In there. Strike one, and Hansen not too pleased with it. Just shrugs it off. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch from Patterson. Hansen thought about it. It's going to be in there for strike two. And she looks back to her coach as if to say, are you kidding? And I'm not at a good angle to even question any of the calls behind the plate. Usually I get a good spot behind the plate, but I got here late as I was down in St. Paul, so that one's going to be inside, and for sure, ball one. 1-2 count for Annabelle Hansen, runner on first, nobody down in the top of the fourth. And Patterson with the pitch. Hansen swings through that one for out number one. One down for Rush. Now to the plate, Adriana Schroeder. Runner at first, one down now for the Tigers. Top of the fourth. They trail 2-0. Infield in again, expecting the bunt. Showing bunt, she bunts it. And the pitcher can't get it cleanly, and close play there at first. Schroeder nearly beats out the throw, but she will be out. She'll bunt forward. Mechtel, the pinch runner for Glenna. 2 down, runner at second. And now to the plate, Addison Antonsen in the left-handed batter's box. And she gets a piece of it, fouls it back. Oh, 1 count now for Antonsen. Runner at second, 2 down here in the top of the fourth. Tigers trying to get one of those runs back. Here's the pitch from Patterson. That's outside for ball one. So 1-1 count now for Antonsen. Patterson with the pitch. Allen's in there for strike 2. 1-2 now for Antonsen. Longer top of the fourth here, but I think for Rush City, I think that's good for you because you're leaving the Rails batters out there in the field for a little bit longer as Patterson with the 1-2. Antonsen fouls this one back. She'll get a piece of it and keep herself alive. 1-2. 2 down, runner at second. One-two pitch on the way. That one's low in the dirt, and Mechtel will slide into third on the ball that gets away from the catcher. Not really a pass ball, but Burt couldn't get it cleanly. So now the runner at third, 2 down, and a chance to get one of the runs back that Proctor has scored. 2-2 count for Antonsen, 2 down. Mechtel, some speed at third. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 3. And Antonsen will go down looking. So the Tigers will strand one there at third. And they'll head back to the field. Bottom of the fourth. The Tigers trail the Rails 2-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. And now in the bottom of the fourth, going to be leading off for the Rails will be Grace Abbott. She'll lead off for the Rails here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Tigers defensively have done a pretty darn good job. They'll look to continue that here in the fourth. I mean, Proctor really hasn't been able to do much. Only got 3 hits in the game, 2 runs, so pretty good for both these teams. That one swung on a soft pop-up to Natalie Rude. Bobbled it about 3 different times, but she finally pulls it in for out number 1. Woo! An anxious moment there, but she holds on for out number 1. So Rude keeping an eye on it, staying with it for out number 1. Sydney Adamski at the plate. Pillar throws that one in there for strike one. Oh, one swung on and lifted foul, maybe down the first base line. And no, it stays fair. So staying fair down the first baseline. That one finds a way, put a GPS on it, found a way to stay fair for Adamski. And now Lillian Hart to the plate for Proctor. Runner on first, one down. Beautiful breeze here in Cloquet, coming out of left field. Feels amazing. Sitting at about 75 degrees. This first pitch till Hart rolls to the catcher. 1-0 count, and here's the pitch. And it's fouled back by Hart. With that bunt foul, it'll make it a 1-1 count for Lillian Hart. Pillar back into the circle. Again, defensively for both these teams, not a ton of holes out there. A few hits, but that's been it. Pillar with the 1-1. Bunt, and they'll be able to get the runner at first. Beautiful grab there by Summer Nelson. Kaylin Glenna put a ton on that one to first. I mean, she got her out, but also a nice grab by Nelson at first. So 2 down, runner at second. Now to the plate for the Rails is Reagan Rodberg. And first pitch, did not see it. Next one, that's in there for strike one. So apparently, there we go, 0-2 now for Rodberg, and that one's going to be a swing and a miss and a strikeout for out number 3. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors for either side. And we move to the top of the 5th. Tigers running out of innings to get some runs on. We'll have to work here in the 5th to try and get some runners on the bags and try and get those runs batted in. They had a runner on third this past inning with Peyton Addix, or excuse me, not Peyton Addix, but Hannah Mechtel at third. Could not drive her in as we move to the top of the 5th. Proctor strands 1 in the 4th, and now again to the 5th inning of play. First back after word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP.
There's just nothing like being on the water, especially on a pontoon. Pine Toon Rental in Pine City has your next outing. Spend the day on the water in style with this 20-footer that holds up to 9 passengers. Whether you want to fish or just float, take the river, take the lake. But you've got to reserve your pontoon first. Visit pinetoonrental.com. pinetoonrental.com.
106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP. You're home for the Tigers softball game in this Section 7 AA championship. We have one of our local teams headed to state in North Branch. Their softball team beat Grand Rapids 3-1. Bram had a chance in their championship game against West Lutheran, but unfortunately they fell 8-4. That was a good battle, though, between those two teams. Bram, I thought, had a chance to pull it off and had some late runs, but unfortunately just could not get the victory. And here in this one, Section 7 AA championship, Rush City has fell to Proctor twice, once in the regular season finale and then once just in the playoffs on Tuesday. And now looking to try and change that up here. First pitch is bunted foul by Peyton Addix as she'll lead off the top of the 5th. Infield in, expecting bunt. Pitch from Patterson, swung on, fouled. Addix a bit frustrated there. So 2 now for the center fielder. And here's the pitch from Patterson. That's well outside. Catcher couldn't even grab it. And that'll be ball 1. Patterson does not appear to have the same touch as she did at the beginning of this game. I think Rush City has worn on her a little bit with forcing her to pitch a few more. I think if you're the Tigers, you got to be feeling at least somewhat better. That one's going to be high and inside. That'll even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the time in the pitching may be wearing on Patterson here in this one, and that might bode well for Rush City. 2-2 on the way. Ooh, and Addix pulls back, runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes for the leadoff batter in the top of the 5th, Peyton Addix. The center fielder struck out back in the 2nd. But the Tigers need some base runners here. Again, running out of innings here in the 5th. They'll have 2 more to try and get things done. Infield is well in, expecting the bunt, and, well, they won't need to be because Addix sees ball 4 and walks to first. Now, rotate over to the top of the order again. Natalie Rude at the plate. Infield still going to be in, expecting bunt. That one rolls to the catcher. Addix moves back to first. Man, Patterson, she would normally just quickly move out of the circle, but her energy appears to be a bit down. She does not have the same, I think, energy she did at one point in this game. This one's going to be in there for strike 1, though, to Natalie Rude. Trying to stretch out, seems like might be cramping up a little bit. Endurance could also be a factor here. She has pitched, I think, more in this game than she has in the first 2 games against Rush City. Up to this point, that one's in there to Rude. And Addix is back at first safely on the throwdown from the catcher. 1-2 count for Natalie Rude. She'll step over and get the word from head coach Jessica. 1-2 count, Patterson. Ready's with the pitch. Bunt, and that's foul, and that will be out number 1. So 1 down now, and Summer Nelson to the plate. Runner at first. That one swung on, and down the first base line, spinning, foul. A 1 count now for Nelson. Here's the pitch from Patterson. That one's off the plate for ball 1. 1-1 count for Nelson. Game behind is pretty exciting. It's 10-5. Home team leading. Again, not sure who's playing over there. 1-1 count. And Nelson watches this one. Patterson took something off it, but just a tad out in front is Nelson. Now it's a 1-2 count. Runner on first. Patterson readies. And here's the pitch. Nelson swings and misses. Crowd number 2. So 2 down now for the Tigers, and Kendall Pillar to the plate. Tigers need something. They need more base runners is what they need. Pillar, that one flying out to right center, but that hangs up a little bit too much, and center fielder is easily under it, grabs it for out number 3. So no hits, no runs, and no errors committed there by Proctor. And we will move to the bottom of the 5th. Lineup rolls over for the Rails, and it will be again Brooklyn Patterson leading off for them as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Tigers will have to get in the field and make all the stops they need here on WCMP. Back after word from our fine sponsors.
Okay, let's get started. Counselor, give me your case.
Your Honor, I represent the kids on summer vacation. The kids that did their homework all year. Well, mostly. The kids that ate their veggies, looked out for their little sisters and brothers, and took out the trash when Dad was gone fishing. Your Honor, these kids deserve some fun this summer, like train rides, cheeseburgers, movies, whitewater rafting, or the rodeo. Fun for crying out loud. I present Exhibit A.
This week, get 18 holes of golf with a cart at Springbrook Golf Course in Mora for only $24. Case closed.
Order in the court.
WCMP deals. Visit WCMPradio.com/deals.
Back here on WCMP, WCMPradio.com/deals. We got all sorts of deals for you over there. Be sure to check that out every day because we do get it restocked quite often if there is something out. Patterson to lead off for the Rails. Pillar gets that one blown by her for strike one. Again, Pillar and Patterson, both sophomores. They'll be on their squads for 2 more years, and I can't wait to see. I hope these two teams play in the future, not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs too, because, man, these two teams are going to be pretty darn good for years to come. That one's also in there on the bottom part of the strike zone. 0-2 now. Pillar ahead in the count. Oh, 2 pitch on the way from Pillar. Bunt shown. A running bunt. Pillar throw on to first is, not in time. Throw by Pillar got there, but out of the glove of Nelson. No, they're going to say she's out. And she ran there. The explanation from what I heard was she ran outside of the line. So that'll be out number 1. So the Tigers catch a break there. According to what I heard, she ran outside the line. So unlike coloring out the line, this has a consequence. This one hit right past Pillar and then Rude on the dive. And it just reaches the outfield, so a single here for Sam Shelton. So runner at first now, 1 down. Courtesy runner here for Shelton, the first baseman. That'll be number 4. Who I don't have. Go figure. Of course I don't have the right one. And now to the plate, Annika Burke. Well, the last couple of innings, Proctor has been able to get a base runner on, but the Tigers have done a great job of making sure that base runner doesn't become a threat to score. Pillar readies, and here's the pitch to Burke. Outside for ball 1. No, strike. So 1 to Burke. Here's the pitch from Pillar. And that one's going to be low for ball 1. One pitch on the way from Pillar. That one's, I hear strike 2, I did. So 1-2 count now for Annika Burke. Pillar trying to help her team get strike 2. Shakes off the pitch call and now gets one she likes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for out number 2. 2 down. Runner at first for the Rails and Pillar. And her defense trying to get out of inning number 5. Now to the plate, KK Hemming. First pitch is ball 1. 1-0 count for Hemming. Here's the pitch. Swung on right to the first base. She drops it, but picks it back up. Steps on first for out number 3. So drop the line out. But she picks it up and grabs it for the 3rd out. 1 hit, no runs for the Rails. No errors by Rush. We won't count that as an error. She got it back. And we move forward to the top of the 6th inning. Tigers running out of innings now. They need to get something going here in this one. They're down 2-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard in this defensive matchup. Back after a word from our fine sponsors here on 106.5 FM AM 1350 WCMP.
When aches and pains are interfering with your daily life, Wellia Health wants to help. The sports medicine team at Wellia Health is here to help you get back to the things you love. Wellia Health has a highly skilled sports medicine team with a wide range of experiences. They are also experts in concussion management, a concern for young athletes and adults alike. No matter the injury, get back in the game with an appointment at Wellia Health. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or schedule an appointment through your MyChart account, welliahealth.org.
Getting set for the top of 6. Lola Mold will lead off for the Tigers. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled out of play. To the other side. So now a 0-1 for Lola Mold, showing bunt, pulls back. Here's the pitch from Patterson, swing and a miss by Mold. Over behind us, it's Cherry and Moose Lake Willow River battling in the Section 7 Single A softball championship game. That one's in there, and Mold will go down looking. Mold not too keen on that 3rd strike call. That is out number 1. And coming to the plate now, Kaylin Glenna. First pitch is ball 1. And the next pitch on the way, swung on, bouncing over the pitcher, and that's going to be a base hit for Kaylin Glenna. So Glenna on with a base hit. Let's see if the Tigers can get this base runner past first. Last time it was Glenna who reached 3rd. Here's the pitch to Hansen, and this one, in there on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Hole 1 count for Hansen, Annabelle Hansen. Got a piece of that one into the glove of the catcher for strike 2. And here's the 0-2 pitch from Patterson. Hansen will foul this one back. Could be going into the field of play for Cherry and Moose Lake Willow River at will. Moose Lake Willow River used to be a 2A team. They this year went down to single A. Pretty good 2A team as well, but this year down to single A. 0-2 to Hansen again. Got a piece of it. Down the 3rd base line. That's going to get through. Base hit for Hansen. And back-to-back singles. And the tying run is at first. Hansen will get the courtesy. It's Kenzie Simmons who will be the courtesy runner for. Kenzie Simmons at first for Annabelle Hansen. Runners at first and second. Adriana Schroeder And come to the plate. We'll get the courtesy runner figured out on the umpire's sheet. Look behind us. Moose Lake Willow River leads Cherry 10-5 in that 4th inning. And we're back to play here. Schroeder will step into the batter's box. Tigers trying to get some going here. Down by 2, tying run is at first. Infield way in, expecting a bunt. Not going to be the case. That one's hit out towards center. Oh, the center fielder makes just a good play. And Schroeder will be out number 2. That's a tough one. Good play out there in center, but should have been an extra base hit. Winds up being an out. Schroeder gave it a ride, but frustrated that it didn't get down. Now Addison Antonsen up to the plate. 2 down. Runners on first and second. That one swung on and missed by Antonsen. Again, tying run is at first for the Tigers. Oh, 1 count for Antonsen. Here's the pitch from Patterson. Thought about swinging. It's in there anyways for strike 2. I think the Tigers have had a tough time with strike calls. That strike zone has fluctuated a little bit, so that can be tough. 0-2 on the way. Antonsen gets a piece of it softly onto the pitcher, and she throws on to first in time for out number 3. So that will be out number 3, but the Tigers get 2 hits, no runs, no errors committed by Proctor. And now the Tigers desperately need all 3 stops here. They need all 3, as they will have to go to the top of the 7th to look for those 2 runs. Almost got them here in the bottom of the 6th. Got 2 base hits from their batters, but just could not get them any closer. And now we're down to the bottom of the 6th inning here in this Section 7 AA championship game here at Braun Park in Cloquet. Tigers, this is the 3rd time they've played Proctor here this season. It's the 2nd time in the playoffs. First time was their regular season finale. That was a great game between those 2 teams. Semifinal game was another good one. Rush City had to play Esco then to get back to this game. They beat them 4-1. He also beat Esco during the regular season 2-1, so seen a ton of familiar teams in the playoffs. And here we go. Bottom of the 6th, leading off for Proctor is Emma Shelton. She sees first pitch. It's low in the dirt, but she swings anyways for strike 1. Oh, 1 count for Emma Shelton. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 2. Shelton tried to hold up, but that's in there for strike 2 anyways. 0-2 for Shelton. Pillar readies. And here's the pitch. And that one will be ball 1 for Shelton. One-two count now for Emma Shelton. Kendall Pillar back into the circle. Readies. And here's the pitch. That one swung on and missed. Round number 1. Grace Abbott to the plate. Tigers trail 2-0 on that scoreboard. Here's the pitch from Pillar. Swung on, popped back, out of play. Looks like into the field to play again for that game behind us. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. That one's rolled back to Pillar, and a beautiful scoop there in the circle by Kendall Pillar. And throw on to first, route number 2. Kendall Pillar with a beautiful scoop. Had to get dirty for it in the dirt, but makes it. And now Sydney Adamski to the plate. Quick 2 down for the rails. That one, just off the mark. for ball one. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Adamski at the plate. Pillar with the pitch. That one's in there on the inside part. For strike one, 1-1 now to Adamski. Pillar with the pitch. That one's high. And it makes it a 2-1 count. Tigers need to get out of this one without allowing a run. Then they need 2 in the 7th. Here's the pitch, 2-1. That one's strike 2 as it leaps out of the glove of Hansen. It will still be strike. So 2-2 count for Adamski. 2 down, nobody on for Proctor. And Pillar trying to help her team out of this 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Ooh. Well, that one called ball 3. That'll run the count full. That one probably should have been strike 3, but be full count now. Here's the pitch from Pillar. That one swung on and out to the right field. Lola Mold! And that's why she's out there. Lola Mold makes the running play in the outfield for out number 3. No hits, no runs for the Rails. And now the Tigers are down to their final 3 outs. They need 2 here in the top of the 7th to get this one to move forward. 3, 4, 5, 10 would be ideal. They just need 2 to get this game into the bottom of the 7th and need 3 more outs. If they could get 3, again, that would be more ideal. So, Tigers need 2 to get this game extended. Would need 3 to really make it a good look for them to go to game 2. So we move to the top of the 7th inning here in Cloquet at Braun Park. Tigers trail the Rails in this Section 7 AA championship game 2-0. And getting set, Tigers will be led off here in the top of the 7th by Peyton Addix. So again, Tigers and Rails going at it in the Section 7 AA championship game. If the Tigers win this one, we'll play another game right after this, which would give the Tigers another chance, and they'd have to win that game as well to punch their ticket to state. So Addix at the plate, lead off the top of the 7th. And here's the pitch. That one outside for ball 1. One 0 count for Addix. Patterson readies. Here's the pitch. Addix pulls back, and it's ball 2. So Addix reached base via the walk back in the 5th. And it's a 2-0 count to start her at bat. Proctor, wary of her laying down a bunt in her speed. The first baseman starts back and then runs up. Now she'll creep closer here on 2-0. Addix, I think, has no intention of bunting here. Instead, it's 3-0 now, so probably won't even see her attempt to swing or even lift it off her shoulder. As it's 3-0, you, again, 99% of the time won't see somebody swing. Here's the pitch. That one outside for ball 4. So, she'll walk down to first, and the tying run, Natalie Rude, is at the plate. Natalie Rude, tying run at the plate. Here's the pitch from Patterson, swung on. That one's going to be fouled back out of play. Oh, 1 count for Rude. Dugout for the Tigers getting into it, trying to cheer on their teammate. 0-1 pitch on the way from Patterson. Rude gets a piece of that one, and it doesn't go far. In fact, goes behind the plate, and foul. 0-2 now for Natalie Rude. Cloud's starting to roll in. I don't think we were supposed to get rain tonight, but hopefully not, because I don't have any of my rain protective equipment for the equipment here. I'd have to sprint to my car. Rude gives this one a ride out to right center. And oh my goodness, center fielder is on it. Makes the catch for out number 1. Addix tags up at first. So fly out to the center for out number 1. That will advance Addix to second. And the tying run back at the plate in Summer Nelson. Here's the pitch. Just outside for ball 1. 1 down, runner at second. Tying run is at the plate again for the Tigers. Patterson readies. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 2. 2-0 count for Summer Nelson. Summer Nelson, one of the seniors for this Tiger squad. It's a piece of that one, but that one's going to go foul out of play. So 2-1 now for the senior Nelson, playing at first base. 1 down, runner at second. Tigers need 2. They're down to 2 runs as well. 2-1 count for Patterson, back into the circle for Proctor. She readies. And here's the pitch. High for ball 3. In this game, the Tigers have made her throw more pitches than they have in the first 2 games these 2 teams have played, which I think has definitely been a factor, but that one's going to be ball. Ooh! No, it's strike 2. Wow. What should have been ball 4 is called strike 2. Now we'll run the count full. So Nelson with a full count. Fouls this one off. Nelson keeping herself alive here with a full count. 1 down, runner at second. Nelson is the tying run at the plate. You can hear the Proctor, the Rush City dugout getting into it. Full count. Nelson. Swing and miss. And that'll be out number 2. Quickly quiets the Tiger dugout, but need that positive energy because the tying run is at the plate again. And Kendall Pillar, there are a few players that can make 2 runs with 1 swing, and Pillar is one of them. Down to their final out, 2 down. Runner at second. Here's the pitch to Pillar, swing and a miss. Foul tip, in fact. So that's a tough one for Nelson. Probably had ball 4, but it was called strike 2 and wound up being an out. So that is so tough. Pillar at the plate, 2 down, runner at first, 0-1 count. Patterson with the pitch. That one inside, another one that should have been ball, but it's called strike. 0-2 now for Pillar. She'll have to protect. Runner at second, 2 down. Down to their final strike. Pillar keeps herself alive, fouls that one back. Man, the Tigers have not been gifted any calls with this strike zone here today. 0-2 for Pillar. Down to their final strike. Pillar would be the tying run. Runner at second, top of the 7th. 2-0, they trail. Patterson with the pitch. Pillar gets a piece of it. And they call that fair. Call that a fair ball, apparently. I don't know how that one's fair at all. I think 10 times out of 10, that's a foul ball, but apparently that one was fair. Well, that's going to do it. The Tigers will fall here to Proctor 2-0. Maybe a bit of controversy in this one with the strike zone a little bit, but The Tigers will end their season runners-up in Section 7 AA. A great season for the Tigers nonetheless, though, and those seniors we'll mention. We'll give them their shout-out. But first, we'll have a word from our fine sponsors. Then we'll come back, recap this game, let you know what's coming up for us. You're listening to Playoff Softball here on WCMP.
Interested in raising funds for your school or organization? Burnett Dairy Cooperative is now participating in cheese fundraisers. Raise funds by selling cheese to your friends and family and supporting our local farmers. Please call us at 715-689-2053 to find out more.
24/7, 365. We've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. You probably know your Pine City Holiday Station Store off 35 is easy to find, very clean, the staff is always friendly, and is open 24/7, 365. But did you know we do propane fills, have a brand new EV charging station, and a dog walking area? So if you need a hot cup of coffee, the tank topped off, or a jug of milk on the way home, we got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
WCMP Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15. He's going to high step into the end zone. Touchdown!
Slips one, slips a second, able to get away for Sluka. Back underneath, far side, and a goal! To the lane and just gets the roll. Wow.
Pine City, Mora, Hinkley Finlayson, East Central, Brown, Rush City, Malacca, North Branch. Find out who's playing next at WCMPradio.com.
Back here on WCMP, the Tigers fall to Proctor in the section championship of 7AA. 2-0, a hard-fought game, and unfortunately a fall. But what a great season it was for the Rush City Tigers. Conference champs once again. Finished second in the section, and what a season it was for these Rush City Tigers. Looking at the pitching for Pillar, she went all 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, and 5 strikeouts. Did not walk a batter, so pretty impressive game there for her. Seniors for the Tigers, taking a look at the roster, Hannah Mechtel, one of them, Maria Biermeyer, along with Summer Nelson, Adriana Schroeder, and Annabelle Hansen are the seniors, so they will certainly miss those seniors. Made some big plays this year, but they will bring back a ton of young talent as well. The rest of the roster coming back, so that has got to feel good for the Tigers. Again, seniors, it's tough to see them go out like this, but those seniors had a great season. Again, that's Hannah Mechtel, Maria Biermeyer, Summer Nelson, Adriana Schroer, and Annabelle Hansen are the seniors, but this young squad will bring back some very good young talent, including their pitcher in Kendall Pillar. So they will have some good talent bringing back, and congratulations to the seniors on the season that they had. It was a fun one to be a part of, and another good one, and the seniors ended not the way they would have liked, but still a good season for the Rush City Tigers, runners-up in Section 7 AA. For us at WCMP, stay tuned. We'll let you know what's coming up for us. Unfortunately for softball, that'll do it for playoffs, except for North Branch. We will be headed down to state for North Branch softball in the state tournament. And in baseball, we'll have more baseball playoffs coming up your way as well next week, so stay tuned. We'll have the broadcast schedule up on our website at WCMPradio.com. Just go to the sports tab, click on broadcast schedule. That will bring you to the broadcast schedule. That is subject to change, though, so just be wary of that. The final score here in this one, the Tigers fall to the Proctor Rails in the Section 7 AA championship, 2-0. The Tigers finish off a great season of play. So for Rush City and for us, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thanks so much for tuning in. I want to thank all our fine sponsors who sponsor this and every other broadcast. We appreciate them for sponsoring all of our broadcasts, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in. And remember, be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through. Your kindness could make their day. And remember, stay tuned to our morning shows on 95.5 FM, KBK with Rocket Rob and Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on 100.9 FM with Josh Murin at 7:45 and 8:45. For your local sports updates, we'll talk this game, all the other local games going on in our area, plus regional and national sports. Stay tuned to our websites, our Facebook pages as well for all things local sports, breaking news, broken records, LOI signings, coaches retiring, new coaches being hired, interviews, and all such things on our websites and Facebook pages. So for the Tigers, they do fall here in the section championship game 2-0. That'll do it for us here in Cloquet. Stay tuned. We'll have state softball coming your way next week, I believe, with North Branch playing in the state tournament. So a huge congratulations to the Rush City Tigers on another phenomenal season. The 9-peat in the conference champions once again, and to the seniors for the Tigers one more time, giving them a shout out here. The seniors for the Tigers: Hannah Mechtel, Maria Biermeyer, Summer Nelson, Adriana Schroeder, and Annabelle Hansen. Congratulations to them on their fantastic softball careers. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks to all the fine sponsors. And for WCMP, Game Day Gilman, have a great rest of your afternoon.